We've worked through the process of Viduy, Charata, Kabala, and real change. Now we have to answer the big kasha. So how does this change our past? How does this change our past? When we started out the process, I brought up the issue of how is it that physical action affects our Neshamos? And the answer was that it's our bechira. It's our ruach, our free will. Our free will, which is something ruchni, it's not gashmi, it's not our instinct, it's not even our neshama, it's that ability we have to choose, it's that part of us that's the real me choosing. And yes, that's ruchni, and it therefore can affect our neshamas. Do you know what the nes of tshuva is? That you can break the time barrier and change the free will definition of your previous actions. That means the ruchni part of it, the real meaning of it, which was the part that affects your neshama, even though the act cannot be changed, the meaning of that act can be changed. How does that work? How does that work? You know, Chazal tell us that Teshuva Shalema, not only amazed, it could become shoig. No. You can get all the way to the point that your averis can become zechuyas. Your averis can become mitzvahs, zechuyas. This is not just getting back what you lost. I mean, this is doing more. How does that happen? So we've got to look back. What really is this tshuva thing all about? It's interesting. The Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva includes the whole idea of schar v'einish, reward and punishment. He's really going through the whole process of life. You know, it would sound like tshuva is, if you did an avera, this is what you have to do to do tshuva. The Rambam presents our whole journey through life as part of Hilchos Tshuva. It's part of Hilchos Tshuva. And by the way, the Rambam is the one who says explicitly that tshuva doesn't just mean tshuva from action. He says that tshuva is from Middos as well. So the Rambam is describing our whole life experience, which is really building our Middos, right? Really building our Middos, getting ourselves to be more sholem, more perfect. The Rambam is describing all of that as tshuva. Tshuva doesn't just mean, I did an aveira, I got to do tshuva. Tshuva is the whole purpose of life, which is I am born with all sorts of negative instincts and I perfect myself. And that is called tshuva. How do we do that? So we said, you identify your character flaws, you develop a repulsion, the charata, and that fuels your change. You know what that means? What it means is that if we would never have done averis, we could never really have developed that kind of hatred towards our negative midas, because they would never have come to fruition. What makes us hate them is what they made us do, what a mess they made of our lives. So it turns out that our middos, our negative ones, were created to give us the opportunity to earn our eternity, earn our level. We're here to perfect ourselves. How do we know what to do, and how do we muster the courage or the energy to do it? By way of our averis. If you really take that process, then what role do our averis play in our life? Our averis are what propelled us to grow. So what is their real meaning? What is their real meaning today? Where does my free will stand today? At the time the Avera was done, my free will chose to do an Avera. Where does my free will stand today? That Avera provides myself with Charata, with the energy to change, to overcome, to build. Well, we said it's not actions that are recorded on your neshama, it's their meaning. The meaning has changed. They have now become schuyas. Our averis become schuyas. It is because of our mistakes. It's because of all the nasty, rotten things we did that we hate our bad middos and have the energy to change them. They become schuyas. You do a real tshuva, becomes a real schus. Becomes a real schus. That's the secret of tshuva. That's really the secret of tshuva. So I'd like to talk about the Avoda of Yom Kippur. You know, the Avoda is a prominent part of our davening. For many, it's the favorite. We just try to imagine what it looked like in the Beis HaMikdash. And of course, the most puzzling part of the Avoda is the Soyer LaAzazel, the scapegoat. We take a goat. The Kohen Gadol is misvadeh. He says Viduy. He confesses all the sins of Klal Yisrael. Chatu, Avu, Pashu, Amcha Beis Yisrael. And he's sent off to the wilderness, thrown off the cliff. The Mishnah says, Eina magia lachatzi ahar ad shenasa kula hivarim. It tears into pieces. What kind of ritual is this? And the Gemara says it looks like witchcraft. Says the Rambam, it's a secret. It's giving a dorin, a gift, to the forces of evil, to the Sitra Achra. Ooh, this really sounds like witchcraft. What is this? What is this? You know, Yom Kippur is referred to as Shabbos Shabboson. It's a day of a rest of rests. The Rambam brings the halachas of fasting on Yom Kippur in the halachas of Shvisas Osor, the Shvisa, the resting of Yom Kippur. It seems like what's supposed to be happening on Yom Kippur is not that it's a day of torture, this awful day where we cry about our averis. It's a day of rest. It's a day where one becomes at peace with himself. It's a day where we recognize that our Middos Ros were given us by Hashem in order that we have the opportunity to really take responsibility for ourselves and grow and earn our level. We recognize that our averis are what brought to our attention how evil our incorrect attitudes are. And because of that, we developed a deep charata hatred towards them. And because of that, we changed. We're at total peace with ourselves. We understand ourselves. We're not like flakes. Sometimes we're here, sometimes we're there. We understand our averis are there for us to learn from. Our middos ros are God-given for us to grow. So we have something to do. We're at total peace with ourselves. But so much so that we can now view our middos ros. We can now view the Yetzer Hara. He was our worst enemy, no? Got it wrong. We're capable on Yom Kippur of saying thank you. It's because of you, Yetzer Hara, that I was able to build myself. You gave me this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, we can see him as a white malach, an angel. That's the total peace of Yom Kippur. But there's more, along the same lines. There's more to this. There are two Iker Neschos of the Avoda of Yom Kippur. The Avoda of Yom Kippur begins with, depending which one you say, Atakananto, Ametz Kayach, Nusosfar and Ashkenaz. They both begin with creation and the Chet of Adam Harishon. Listen, we got enough of our own Chatam. Why do we need the Chet Adam Arishan for Yom Kippur? Why are we busy with the Chet Adam Arishan on Yom Kippur? Well, we have to review the Chet Adam Arishan. Adam Arishan was created immortal, which means his body was spiritual. His body could have lasted forever. His natural instincts were good. His natural self, what we call the Nefesh HaBahami, to him, it was a Nefesh Elokis. That was him. It was all good. His natural state was good. The Yetzer Hara was external. The Torah presents it as the Nachash, a serpent. It was external. He was given one mitzvah. Don't eat from the Eitz Hadas, which will turn you into a mortal. And what does that mean? And this Sfarim explained to us that the Eitz Hadas is the one that will turn your body into something mortal, physical, and your instincts are going to become physical, which means the Yetzer Hara will be internal, which means that you will be a human being with the instincts of a serpent. The Yetzer Hara will be internal. Hashem says you can choose that, or you can choose your present state. And he tells him, don't eat from the Eitz Hadas. I suggest, I command that you not make that choice. I command that you not choose to become mortal. What happened? What happened? The Yetzer Hara convinced Adam Arishan. Now, how did he convince him? The pasuk makes it sound like it was taiva, it was lust. Oh, the food looked so good. But it doesn't work. If Adam Arishan's natural state was spiritual, that wouldn't talk to him. So that's all allegory. What really happened was Adam Arishan made a rational choice, and he said to himself, if my purpose in existing is to build myself in order to earn for myself closeness to Hashem, if my natural state is to do good, how much am I earning already? I've got to make my natural self evil. I've got to bring the Yetzer Hara inside me. The choice is going to be difficult. I'm going to make the right choice. I am going to give Hashem the opportunity to give me of himself so much more. This will be the greatest. Where did he go wrong? First of all, Hashem told him not to do it. But why was Hashem right? Why was Hashem right? Tell me. Adam Arishan's choice paid off. Look at humanity. Ever since we became mortal, ever since we have physical instincts, most of humanity just degenerated and made the wrong choices. Take a look at the early Doros, the first generations after Adam. The world degenerated so. Hashem had to destroy it on different levels at different points. Oy, did he make a mistake. Oy, did he make a mistake. But you know something? For anyone that does a real tshuva on Yom Kippur and really builds himself off his averos and really does do what Adam Arishan had in mind, which is to take his mortal self filled with all sorts of negative instincts, perfect them, change his attitudes, embark on a path that will bring him to perfection. From him it paid. For him the Chet Adam Arishan worked. Adam Arishan worked. All that negativity is what got him to where he is. He is building himself. He is earning on the highest levels. For anyone that does a tshuva gemura on Yom Kippur, that is a tikkun for the Chet Adam Arishan. For that, Adam Arishan was right. He was wrong because most of humanity doesn't go that way. But for anyone that does, it's a tikkun of the Chet Adam Arishan. So we remember that in Yom Kippur. So all in all, Yom Kippur is such a beautiful, restful day of peace. A real menucha, a real Shabbos Shabboson. Understanding yourself. The hatred is not directed at yourself. Understanding that whatever shortcomings you have were given to you as a gift by Hashem. The challenges, the Yetzer Hara, it's all there for the sake of giving you the ability to build yourself. Your Averis, they teach you to hate the Yetzer Hara with a passion. They teach you to hate your negative Middos with a passion. They propel you to embark upon a process where you're going to change your attitudes, chart your behavior, and little by little get there. You feel so good. You feel so good. That's the point of Yom Kippur. That's the wonderful day of Yom Kippur. Perfecting ourselves, understanding ourselves, appreciating even the negativity. In Brias HaOlam, at the very end, it says, Vayara Hashem es kol asher osa v'nei toiv ma'od. Hashem saw everything He created. And it was toiv ma'od. It wasn't just good, it was toiv ma'od. It was so good. Chazal say, what's toiv ma'od? The Yetzer Hara and the Malach HaMavis and the... What? Yeah. Kol, when you put it all together. The Yetzer Hara and the Malach HaMavis, that whole package of negativity, it's there to give us the ability to build ourselves. And that's the greatest. That is Toiv Ma'od. We go on this journey on Yom Kippur. It is such a yontif. You develop lots of hatred. And you're so energized. And there's lots of promise. And this time it's going to be for real. And next Yom Kippur, you'll be in a whole different level. And you're so thankful, even to your Averis and the Yetzer Hara, without which you would never have arrived at this point.